Greetings everyone. Our subject is General English and the topics which we'll be covering today are meaning of communication, importance of communication, communication cycle, types of communication and methods of communication. First, what is communication? Communication is the exchange of facts, ideas, opinions or emotions by two or more persons. What is the importance of communication? Why do we need communication in our life, or why do we need to learn communication? So, first, it improves coordination. There are various departments in an organization. Communication helps everyone to coordinate with each other. It gives direction. Sometimes, while working on various projects, employees might get lost or confused. Effective communication with their superiors or colleagues helps them to get a direction. Communication also speeds up the process. It also helps in solving problems by providing feedback and providing clarifications. Now let's understand the basic elements of communication. So there are three basic elements. First we have sender, then we have receiver, and third we have message. So who is the sender? Sender is the person who sends the message, who has an idea, he wants to share it with someone, so he sends a message to the receiver. Who is receiver? Receiver is the person who receives the message. And what is message? A message is an idea that a sender wants to convey to the receiver. Now, yes, the most important part of our today's topic, that is communication cycle. So, here in the communication cycle, there is a sender. As I already told you in the previous slide, that sender has an idea and he wants to share it with someone. So he encodes the idea, formulates a message, selects an appropriate channel to send the message. The receiver receives the message. He decodes the message. Decodes means he understands the message and sends the feedback. This cycle keep on continuing till both the parties have expressed themselves clearly. Both the parties here are sender and receiver. And this cycle ends when the sender receives the feedback from the receiver. Now, yes, the types of communication. So there are two types of communication. First, we have formal, and second, we have informal. From the images given on the slide, you can also understand the meaning of formal and informal communication. So these images here are to help you understand what is formal and informal communication. Now first, formal. Formal communication is the communication which follows a prescribed channel of communication. So prescribed channel means, for example, there is a clerk. Clerk wants to share the information with the supervisor. Supervisor wants to share the information with deputy manager. Deputy manager shares the information with MD. So this communication flows through a proper hierarchy chain. Now formal communication flows in various directions. So first is vertical communication, then we have horizontal communication, and under vertical we have upward and downward communication. So what is upward communication? Upward communication is the communication which moves from the subordinate staff to the superiors. Downward communication is the communication from superiors to subordinates. So when does upward communication happens? It happens when the subordinates or the employee want to ask about their salary, wants to tell some issues they are facing to their manager, etc. And when does downward communication happens? It happens when the superior wants to, like for example, your employer wants to tell you about some office policies or some rules which needs to be followed, or they want to assign you some work. So that is when the downward communication is followed. Now after that we have horizontal communication. Horizontal communication is the communication with people of the same authority level. Now, same authority level means, for example, the manager is talking to the manager of some other department. For example, sales manager is talking to the production manager is talking to the purchase manager. So they are talking to all the people of the same authority level. So that is why this is called horizontal. Now, after horizontal, we have diagonal communication. Diagonal communication is with people at different levels belonging to different departments. So you can get from our last point that horizontal was with the people from same authority level and diagonal is with the people from different authority level. So for example, sales manager is talking to the production supervisor, where he should have shared the information with the sales supervisor. He is instead sharing the information with the production supervisor. So that is why this is called diagonal communication. And also I have shown an image here where the diagonal communication is being followed. Now next is informal communication. Informal communication is the communication which does not follow a prescribed channel of communication, which means it does not follow the proper hierarchy chain. Example, clerk is sharing the information with the deputy manager instead of sharing the information with his supervisor. Now, grapevine is basically rumors or gossips which have no set lines, no definite rules. They spreads in any direction, anywhere, literally like a grapevine. So grapevine is a part of informal communication. Now, methods of communication. There are two methods of communication. First is verbal and second is non-verbal. Verbal, as you can understand from the word verbal itself, that it means communicating using words. Non-verbal, you can understand from the word non-verbal that it means communicating via gestures, actions, pitch, expressions, your body language, your posture, your tone of voice, your emotions, feelings, conveying your feelings via your posture, via your pitch, your voice, etc. Under verbal communication, we have written and oral communication. So, for written communication, the examples are letters, memos, notices, documents, emails. For oral communication, it can be phone call, it can be via group discussion, via meeting, conferences, etc. Okay. So written communication is usually used when the message which needs to be shared is very lengthy and is very complex. So in that case, we use written. For the communication, for the messages which are not very lengthy and which are quite simple, we use oral method of communication. Now, yes, the last part. What are the barriers of communication? What is barrier? First of all, barrier is anything that hinders the process of communication. Hinders means which obstructs or which stops or which creates a problem in the process of communication. Now, there are various barriers. Some of the barriers I have mentioned here. First, we have linguistic barrier, then we have psychological barrier, physical barrier, cultural barrier, and emotional barrier. So what is physical barrier? Physical barriers are barrier is like noise, time and distance, poor timing, etc. So basically all the barriers which are physical. Now linguistic barriers caused due to the different languages, no clarity in speech, using big jargons. Psychological barriers are caused because of our attitude and opinions. Since we all are brought in different surroundings. We all belong to different places, so we all have different values, different attitude, different opinion, and this difference among us causes the psychological barrier. Then there is also closed mind, poor attention, inattentiveness. These all come under psychological barriers. Then cultural barrier. Cultural barrier is, for example, what is a perfectly decent etiquette considered in one country may be offensive in another country. Then the last we have emotional barriers. Emotional barriers are the barriers which are caused because of fear, because of nervousness, or because of shyness, hesitation, etc. And because of all these things, the sender is not able to communicate his feelings properly to the receiver, and that is why it becomes the communication is not done properly between the sender and the receiver. Now we have strategies to overcome the barriers. So whenever there is a problem, there is always a solution. And the solution for our barriers to communication are: first, plan your communication carefully. Choosing the right medium and sending the message at an appropriate time is very important. Second, know the receiver, his or her age, their experience, interest, status, etc. will help you to avoid several barriers. Third, take care of your tone. Your tone should match your feelings, and always remember to use words that generate positivity. Listen more, speak less. Listening is one of the most important tools in communication. Listening more and talking less is the best formula to understand others. Now the last is seek feedback and offer clarifications. One rule which you should always follow in your life is to ask as many questions as you can. And whenever you provide feedback, always try to give constructive feedback. Thank you. So today we have covered the introduction of our chapter communication. Now in the later modules we'll be understanding various things which comes under communication in detail.